What am I going up for? Will you do my live for me? You don't need to do anything, the moderators will do it all.
Everybody shout Kirsty, okay, let them hurry up.
Hi everybody, well myself and Scott, we were just in a meeting there with Marie Todd, who's the Health Secretary, and some of the information we found was, I don't want to say surprising because I'm not surprised.
Steve's has got his hands full and I'm walking back down station him and
we were told that the NHS budget they're given every year, only 10% of that goes into mental health services and only 1% of that 10% goes into CAHMS to help our children. And we wonder why the waiting times for our kids to get any kind of help is what they are. Because the services that our children need are only getting 1% of the funding available from the government, which is ridiculous. We also found out, some of you might know this, but me as a parent and parent of a child who struggles with mental health wasn't aware of this, that within NHS 24 there is a mental health available, that if your child is in crisis with their mental health, you can phone NHS 24 and be put through to the mental health hub that it's called, and they will speak to a mental health trained staff member who will complete a psycho-social assessment over the phone and then refer your child to the relevant services. Now, I don't know about anybody else, but that's not something that I was aware was even there. So we asked the question as to why that's not advertised, and again that really couldn't be answered as to why that's not being made public. So again, mental health and education, they're coming hand in hand, because the schools are having to take their children within there who are struggling. They're struggling with every aspect of their life at the moment, because mental health has got a big impact on our children's daily living. So not only today are we fighting as the ASN Reform for a reform of the education system for our children, but Standwithkylenow is also fighting to get the mental health services changed and reformed as well. And we made it very, very clear today to Marie Todd that we want to be part of the ones who look at the referral processes and the policies, because somebody sitting in an office coming up with something that they think is going to be a suitable referral process for our children just won't work. It needs to be someone who's actually lived it to work alongside these professionals, and we made it very, very clear today that we're not going away and that they will need to let us be part of that solution, not only for mental health but for the education, because we will not go anywhere, guys. This is just day one for this. This is day one for the ASN Reform, and it's day one for us fighting for Standwithkylenow as well. So guys, we will get our voices heard and we will make differences for our children, and the fact that these are all here has made a big difference, because they're very aware that we're here. Believe me, they are very, very aware that we're here, and we're not going away, guys. We're not going away.
So, would anybody else like to come up and tell their story? Yeah? There we go, when you come.
Thank you very much.
Sorry,
It's very windy. It's just the way the wind's blowing. Oh no! Our lists. What is that? You tired? Put your head on Daddy's knee and go for a wee nap.
Hi,
What?
I'm Lee. I'm speaking for my mum.
Not long to go, right? Not long. You're doing really well.
So I'll just read that. That's easier. My daughter, 22, was failed. She struggles with life every day because she was failed. She has learning needs, development delay, a question of autism since the age of 3. I was told, and only learning difficulties. She was complete. And ASN nursery at age 2. She had so much support and it was an amazing start to her life. At age 5, I was told that she wasn't ready to start school, stay at nursery for a year. Age 6, I was told she would cope fine with mainstream. I'm still questioning autism at this point. Throughout mainstream, She started struggling, but did have amazing one-to-one classroom assistant. She had no friends throughout primary, though she did a classroom assistant and a janitor. I still questioned autism. I didn't know how to fight. Primary 6 I had enough. She couldn't go to mainstream academy. I finally got listened to. She got her ASN placement. 3rd year I was told we had a problem. Remember the extra years she done at nursery that I was forced into? Well, she now had to leave her peers in 3rd year, skip 3rd year altogether and move to 4th year, as she would have to leave prom, etc. as you're not allowed into school after you turn 18. I was pushed for autism diagnosis at this point, placed in a long waiting list. She left school, went to college a few days a week, but at this point she struggled coping with everything. Finally at 18 she was diagnosed with autism. Remember that saying, mums are always right. Since leaving college, she's struggled every day. She hides away in her room, in her bed. It's so hard to get her to do anything because she doesn't have it, she doesn't have it in her to cope anymore. We get no support, no nothing. School failed her, and now Ayrshire is failing her. The councils are also letting our ASN adults down too. I also have a 20-year-old struggling with life, that's me. The school told me to leave before I get kicked out for my behaviour, although I coped well in primary. Clever, popular, etc. Academy changed that. My family and I are all very sure that I have ADHD, but when I finally picked up the courage to speak to a professional about my struggles, I get told that I didn't have, if I didn't go to a group therapy, then I was to just deal with it. I struggle every day. I'm so glad to be here.
Oh my God.
Thank you, your kids, because they failed me and my sister.
Sorry, I'm here, my feet are saying I've got an replacement. Right.
Oh, you've done amazing. Well done. You've done amazing. Oh.
You don't look that easy. I know. It's hard to get up there, isn't it?
You've done amazing. You literally made us all green.
My waterproof mascara is clearly not working.
Quite time, man. She's awesome.
Fantastic. No, well done, guys. Well done. Well done. She just looks alright.
Who's she reading?
Sorry.
Do you want me to do it, Nikki?
Led to her making an attempt on her own life by the age of 8. Unable to attend mainstream and not disabled enough for an ASN school, she is now not in any education of any kind. My daughter has been stripped of the opportunity to learn and be a part of her local school due to lack of funding and training to support ASN children. Lives are at stake, families are breaking. Do you know what? That is exactly the kind of thing that we are trying to stop happening here, because at the end of the day,
That's just
if the government step up and give us funding and support for our children in education and for teachers to be funded and properly trained, then this kind of thing wouldn't happen, because it is not acceptable and enough is enough.
Yay!
I was also speaking to somebody earlier who has had issues with transport in terms of the fact that her child is taken by taxi. Now, these drivers, and I don't want, I'm not naming anybody in general, and it's not across the board, but they aren't trained to deal with assisted needs children. Yes, they have PVGs, but that is about it. They don't have any training to deal with flight risk children, children that are will just take off running at any point, and that is not acceptable either. They should have specific training and specific transport for these children. Yes, people behind a desk can sit there and say, oh, it's the in thing to have a diagnosis and whatever else. That is absolutely disgraceful. They shouldn't speak like that. They shouldn't use that terminology. And it stops now. This is what we're here for.
Yay!
Does anybody else want to speak? Because I'm just waffling on now. and I'm greeting and it's terrible. Like, I really hope my lash is going to come off because I look a state.
Steph will need to fix them.
Right, I do have other stories here that can be read out if anybody wants to come up and read them.
Are you wanting us to read some of them?
Does anybody want to come up and read them?
Amanda's going to do one.
Go on, Amanda.
I'm just going to do it all, thanks very much.
Well, Nikki, get a broom and start sweeping as well. Aye.
No.
I know, that's
Nobody's
fine.
getting away with it.
Excuse me, I was just greeting there. Because that was just Kyle.
Like, Megan, I genuinely can't talk. I genuinely can't.
But you don't need
sorry.
you don't need
Like, my anxiety's
Aye, no, you don't
no way.
need no.
I don't talk.
Right, this next story is from Megan McCurtain.
Aye.
And she says, "Hi, I hope all you amazing people are well today." I'm too short, sorry. Hi, I hope all you amazing people are well today. I wanted to share mine and my son Alfie's story with you. My son is 2.5 years old, no diagnosis of autism, but suspected autism, ADHD and global developmental delay, alongside SPD. My son joined a nursery that said they were able to support additional needs as they had autistic children in their nursery. The first week that Alfie was in nursery, I got him to the office and they said that he would not follow simple instructions. And then I got told in the second week that he would not settle and he didn't want any children around him. So they separated him. And the third week I got took back to the office where they told me that they would no longer be able to support my child within nursery because his additional needs were too severe. They never even gave him the chance to settle. So then I was forced to give up my work because I couldn't find a placement for him. Then I went to the educational board and said about Alfie's story and they told me to investigate an additional needs placement. I then investigated ASN Nursery where they had said because he was verbal but no functional communication that they wouldn't take him because his additional needs weren't severe enough and that it would make him non-verbal. I then got told my only option was mainstream. So upon looking into mainstream, I tried 3 or 4 different nurseries where they said they were not equipped to look after children with additional needs to Alfie's severity. So eventually I found a mixed nursery which I had a place for Alfie. But because he finds it difficult to transition, I must stay 1 to 2 hours to settle him. Even though when I leave, it's still the same outcome. I get phone calls every day to pick him up because he's just not settling. He currently goes to full days and a half day. And I have requested to change so he can go every single day in the morning so we can get a better routine as Alfie thrives off a routine. But I've been told that I must wait until the board can review it, which I understand, but it's now becoming detrimental to my son. The system has failed my child multiple times and makes me terrified for when he goes to school. That was Megan McCurtain's story, which is not uncommon to a lot of parents, and we discussed this earlier on, the amount of people that have their child in nursery that are maybe only there 1-2 hours of the day and then they're getting a phone call, child's inconsolable, we need you to come pick the child up. And it does have a knock-on effect. We have parents that are no longer able to go to work because they're in work half an hour and they have to leave work, and a lot of workplaces just don't support it as well, and I don't think that's spoken about often enough, is the amount of workplaces that don't support parents with children with additional support needs, because sometimes you do just need to go, sometimes they do just need their mum, but a lot of times if they had the right support within that nursery setting, they wouldn't need to phone mum. So this is what we need to fight for, guys. Hi, so we've now got Abby that's going to speak.
Which I don't think is right for her. She's autistic and I just don't think it's the right thing to be put into primary 1. I think she should be put into
You alright?
Yeah.
Yay!
Nothing enough for my sister Amelia to be put into primary 1. It's not good for her. She needs the education. education in primary in Owls.
Yay!
That was absolutely amazing.
That was so good. Well done. Honestly,
We're going to hear from another child.
unbelievable. Your sister.
I know.
So this is Demi, and Demi's going to speak to you.
I'm 11, my name's David. I want to speak about my experience with school. I have moved from 2 different schools, and I had quite a good nursery because I went to rural school. And then I moved up to a school, and then I moved out of it at the beginning of primary 7 primary 6, because I wasn't getting the help that I actually needed. So then I moved up to the school right next to my house, and I was going okay, but then it started going downhill, and now I had to be taken out of my primary school because no one was paying attention or listening. I couldn't get a say in what I wanted to do, and I was just being fake apparently. Now I'm homeschooled, and now I can actually do stuff. I love learning, and it's not that I don't like school. I don't like the people in school that don't want to believe anything I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to be fake, and I'm not having an attitude just because
And do you know what? You're an absolutely amazing person for coming up and speaking and telling us all your story. And do you know what to say to those people? Don't speak to me that way, because I don't deserve it. You did amazing. So,
Our original plan was just to come up in this school.
oh my God, you must have won your life. Dear me, I'm going to sleep tonight.
Are you wanting
I
to?
do have some more stories to read out. But
Kyle wants to talk.
Kyle, do you want to speak? Yes.
Oh my God, I'm going great.
On you come, you're not.
Come on, Kyle.
Kyle's famous, by the way. He's got his own page.
Yes, Kyle.
So, about 2 years ago, my mental health took a big dip, and it wasn't really good. At first it was just, I used to be in a lot of clubs, and then I started backing away from all my clubs, and I made some friends, and then back away. This year has been the worst year, because I've tried to take my own life.
Thank you so much, guys.
I've been to psychiatrists many times, asking for help, and no help. So yeah, that's my story.
Oh, he's so big. So, I'm just terrible at this. Somebody else needs to speak. I just keep greeting. And I've covered myself in Starbucks now and all.
Natalie, you're in tears. Jeez, man, oh, that
Who
don't
else
taste
is
great.
talking on this mic? Because I'm waffling a load of...
You wanting us to read a story?
Aye, the stories are in the folder. I need to go and sort my trousers out.
Bye, guys. See you, Amelia. Come and give a hug, please. Oh no.
I will apologise for that bothering right, because that was my wee boy that was just doing there. So this story is, are we reading the names out? Are we reading the names out?
Yeah, it's fine.
Like, are we saying whose story it
Yeah.
is? This is Dion's story. Hi, this is the story of my son's education. I'm not sure I'll make the protest, but I thought I would share with you. It all started when he was at nursery. My son is now going into primary 3. in August and still not diagnosed yet, although been on the waiting list since February 2020. He can be quite violent and do the opposite of what he's told. Anyway, at nursery he was kept there for an extra year. During that extra year, they cut his nursery hours right down to about 2 hours a day. Then when it came to getting him ready for school, I told them he shouldn't be going to mainstream, but apparently he wouldn't get into non-mainstream school as there was apparently too many applications that year and that my son wouldn't get accepted. So primary 1, he got put into mainstream and had about 2 full days out of the full year. He was suspended 4 times in primary 1 and had his hours cut to 1 hour 45 minutes to 2 hours per day. Then in primary 2, he got put into mainstream school with a speech and language base, which I knew straight away wasn't going to work either, as this wasn't what my son's needs were. But again, I had no say. He's currently still at this school just now, and he gets 1 hour 30 minutes a day, and that's if we're not phoning for him to be collected early, which is 8 miles from where we stay. He's managed to escape out of the school a few times and he's been running around the area of the school, which is on a main road. In August he will be moved to another school with children who already have problems. Moving them from place to place is just going to create more. Education have no time for their children and it's not fair on them. I hope you get your point across at the protest, and I thank you all for doing this. So that's a common occurrence for your kids, is that they're not getting the full hours. This poor child is getting a maximum 2 hours per day, which is ridiculous. How can any child say and learn anything in 2 hours per day? And the time it takes that parent to get that child ready and out the door, that's longer than what they're actually in the building for, which is ridiculous. And this is what we're here for, guys. This is what we're here to change, so that this doesn't happen for our children, because they deserve more than 2 hours of education a day.
Thank you, Kirsty. We now have
You're
Eleanor.
welcome! Too many Kirsties! Too many Kirsties! Almost like which one?
Hello.
I wish I'd been here from the beginning, but unfortunately I've only just been able to join. I'm definitely going to cry because I'm feeling so emotional seeing all these people. And do you know, I'm sure you've heard this before from people, care providers, education services. Everyone's like, you know, you're doing so well, you're doing 2 jobs. I'm not being paid, I'm caring for my child. So I'm not going to say, well done. You know, you don't need to hear that, although you're all amazing, obviously. But what I am going to say is things like this are just beyond inspiring. I think we've all reached a limit as parents and carers, and I can't believe how many people are here, and I'm so excited to see you all here. And I'm going to talk about my daughter, Amina, and she's going into primary 1, or she should be. Yeah. She's got her ASD diagnosis, which we feel really grateful for, because we know that's not a given for people these days. But you know, I'm just so scared because she's been rejected for specialist provision. Now, on the basis, as far as I can tell, that they can't meet her needs in the school. Not that she hasn't got needs, but they don't have the capacity to care for everyone in the way that they deserve. What do you say to that as a parent or carer? I can't defend her, I can't say anything else other than this is what she needs. And if the answer is, but we can't provide it, what do you do? So I'm in a situation now where I'm so scared because she's going to go into P1, and you know, I know lots of primary school teachers and people who work in schools, and I've got massive respect for the job that they're doing, and I've got great relationships with many of them as an individual. It's the institution that I've got the problem with, it's the law that I've got the problem with, okay? Because there's every possibility that if my child goes into a P1 nursery, a P1 mainstream school, I'm going to spend all day worrying about whether she's ended up dead on the road. Yep. Because she's not safe. Yep. She's not safe. And if she is kept within the school, where is she? Yep. Is she in a classroom? No. If you walk down the corridor of almost any Scottish primary school these days and you look in the cupboards that don't have windows, you see children who are supposedly being educated. That's what inclusion is looking like for a lot of our children. I want her to be included. That's not inclusion. Right? So I just wanted to say that it means so much to me to see everybody here today, and it's always great to be in a community of people who know what you're talking about, and I think all of you probably know what I'm talking about when I say that I'm really, really scared for P1.
Yeah.
So thank you, everybody.
Run!
I can't run in these boots right. I'm the wrong foot there.
Yes, you did.
Sorry. Mum.
That's alright. Don't do it again.
So, we've got a story from Mark Welsh. My Danish mum recognised my symptoms, having seen similar in my wee brother. She got a GP referral to the Dyslexia Institute in Glasgow, who assessed my heavy, profound condition. The official evidence was later passed to my primary school, pushing them to support the fact, me. They selected to tick that box by having me leave my class every morning. I'd go to a room myself where I sat enjoying the window, getting no formal input for years. I'd remain until lunchtime, returning to my class in the afternoon. I was essentially denied all that was provided to the class without a formal structured means to gather and consolidate in whatever that was presented. This yet remains the case. So, this is obviously another thing that happens. Children are removed from classrooms and left to sit in a space by themselves with no additional support, and then their education is just going downhill because they don't understand what's going on in the classroom. They then put them back into the classroom and the kids are like, what's going on? But then they don't have the right support either. They're also cutting teaching assistants funding by 10% this year. So there will be less teaching assistants in the schools able to actually deal with the children as well, which is absolutely ridiculous, and enough is enough.
Yay!
So I think we've actually read most or all of the stories that we have in our folder. So if anybody else is willing to come up and tell their story, if any younger children would like to come and speak, we could do that as well. Anybody?
Quick, or we're going to hit it.
Nobody? I mean, if we don't do that, we're just all going to be standing here waffling on it, yes? Oh, there we go. We've got Michelle. Woo! Go, Michelle. Go, Michelle.
So I can only speak because my two children have gone now, because they would cringe to think I'm standing up here. So I'm going to just talk about my journey. I've got two children. One is 13 and ADHD and on the pathway for another diagnosis. And my daughter is 10. No, she's not. She got diagnosed when she was 10. She's 12 on Friday. And she's got ADHD, autism, sensory processing. You all know what that is. So Amelia's journey it's been really difficult, like everybody. So at primary 3, she began to really struggle in the classroom. She began to be dysregulated. She was flipping tables when she wasn't coping, when she was being overwhelmed. Out in the playground, she really, really struggled. We took her along to one of her brother's CAHMS appointments when he was there, and they said that we should get her assessed, so we did. So she got an ADHD diagnosis and she got medicated. When the medication was settled and it was right, what we then saw was ASD traits that we hadn't seen before. Her difficulties continued within the classroom. She was getting sent home constantly. There was talk of suspensions, there was talk of exclusions. There was parents making up Facebook groups to talk about her, to exclude her. Peers excluded her. And I've just looked at my sister and she's crying, so I'm just going to put my sunglasses on. The thing is, I know that everybody here has been through a similar journey and everybody knows how hard it is. So she became more and more excluded. She went from having a big group of friends to then having no friends because it wasn't cool to hang about with her. She's still bullied to this day, but the resilience that she has built up is phenomenal, and I'm so proud of her. But she shouldn't have to have done that, but she has. Primary 6, we were told that she probably should be considered for ASD provision within our local authority, so we're local council. So we applied through the school, and that process, it was rejected. We appealed it, that was rejected again, which is the same for many, many children. We got an educational psychologist report saying that this is what Amelia... I'm not sure what's going on here.
Go. Go. Go, Gail. Well, I hear this.
So, she was rejected basically like every child. She was struggling in school, she wasn't getting any education, she was out the classroom. She was awarded 10 hours a week for support, but due to staff shortages she never got the support that she needed. We then had to involve a lawyer for high school. We spoke to the Governing Law Centre and they helped us through the process of applying for Amelia to get a high school place that we could go to court. We appointed a lawyer. The conversation with the lawyer went along the lines of, if you go the full way to a tribunal, your cost will be £7,000. And how can you put a cost on your child's education? We were just going to get a credit card and we were just going to have to forgo holidays and luxuries and take it from there. So when we got the lawyer involved, they just took kind of over everything. We got another educational psychology report that said yes, that's absolutely where she needs to go, but the council again said no. So the lawyer submitted the paperwork to the tribunal. We were lucky, we didn't have to go all the way to the tribunal. We only had to go part of the way, and then I just actually got my lawyer's bill last week, but that's another story. But we were very lucky as well that Amelia did get the place that she needed. Do we need to do anything? Are we okay?
No, we're alright.
We're okay.
We're alright.
Okay. We were very lucky and Amelia got the place. She actually got the place in the school right beside us. But what's actually even more lovely about it, although she is totally excluded from all the peers in her class, her current primary school, she's now made up an amazing bunch of friends that are going to be going to this new school, and she can mix with them at lunchtime and break. Lunchtime and break time, and she's now finding herself and her sense of self and who she is and who she wants to be, and these kids accept her. So they will find their tribe. I don't know if this is her tribe forever, but all the kids will eventually. So yeah, that's my tale.
Seriously, there's... I'm actually...
You spoke for 6 minutes.
I wasn't done, even Michelle.
Starting with Logan.
Thank you very much.
Kirsty, I think you should say your story.
My name's no Kirsty.
Fucking Nikki Christ. Sorry.
God's sake, Steph!
Right, sorry, Nikki.
Drunk?
Go.
We're against the government. That's not what we're here for.
My story. Okay.
I could have went into so much detail, but you didn't need to.
So
I keep having to turn my camera away because all the babies running about in their nappies.
in secondary school, so he's going into second year. At the start, when he was in nursery, he was quite a violent wee boy, but the nursery put it down to the fact that he was an only child, and maybe it was just the fact that he didn't want to share and things like that. But there was definitely some developmental issues that they just weren't willing to take on board. So, by the way, I will try. So we basically then got to primary school, and they did have an ASN support worker in the school, and she called us up and actually said that she was going to refer him to testing because she definitely thought there was something going on. But by this stage, my son had learned to mask quite well. So we went through the community doctors and things like that, and then the community health clinic got involved and they sent him to different tests. But because he would mask, and then he would sit there and just refuse to do things. It was like, no, we can't diagnose him, we don't think there's anything wrong. So they then, in primary 4, sent an educational psychologist into the school to assess him, who had never met my son before, had basically sat with him for 10 minutes and went back to the head teacher in the school and said, do you know what, I think he's just a wee boy that doesn't have any discipline and no boundaries. To which, I have to be fair, the head teacher asked her to leave the school and not return because she didn't know our circumstances, she didn't know my son. So
I need to go and tell him shush.
So we eventually, just ignore what's going on. Anyway, so we eventually then managed to get a CAHMS appointment, but by this time COVID had hit, so they did, it was a private company called Helios and to kind of try and alleviate some of the stress. So, just give me 2 seconds. Oh, sorry, yeah. I was just got to say, we're in the somebody's thought about it already. So Helios basically had 5 appointments with my son and diagnosed him with autism. They also decided to assess him for ADHD. We didn't go through with all the formal diagnosis because they told us that he definitely he had ADHD, but it was a case of we've waited 7 years for the autism diagnosis. I don't really see the point in having a formal diagnosis of that. So they diagnosed him with autism, they then diagnosed him with sensory processing disorder, auditory processing disorder, and he is now he's now been referred to CAHMS psychiatry team for PDA, which is pathological demand avoidance.
Yes, please, Sam.
He doesn't actually want to leave the house anymore. He doesn't want to go to school because there isn't the right support for him, but unfortunately he doesn't qualify for an ASN provision because they say he's not autistic enough, which is absolutely diabolical. And to be fair, I'll be open and honest, I wanted to throat punch someone, but
no like you, Nikki.
I don't as long as you're nice to me. Unlike him over there. He was lucky. Anyway. So my son is now at the stage where he refuses to go to school every day. He maybe goes 1 day, 2 days a week. We try and get there as much as possible. And I then had an attainment officer threaten me with legal action because my son's not going to school. Which I replied to, well, do you know what? Get them to take me to court and you'll be up against the best prepared mother in the world because I will hit you with all the facts that I have, because at the end of the day, this is what we're here for. We don't get the support we need as parents either, which we need to remember. I know it's about the children, but us as parents struggle every day as well. We have to get up to the meltdowns, the kicking, the hitting, the punching, the screaming, the I hate yous, the sleep deprivation, the I hate you, you're the worst mum in the world. But do you know what? We do it because they're our kids and this is what we're here for. So the government need to listen to us, and we need to take the stand, and enough is enough. At the end of the day, this is what we need. So I've waffled on enough now, somebody else can take over. Oh, thank you, Kyle.
Literally, that pose.
Do you know what?
That pose is
this is what it's all about. We've all came here, we're all taking part, we're all taking a stand for the same thing, and I'm sure they can hear us in there, they're not deaf, we've shouted loud enough. I mean, I'll shout again. Enough is enough. Come out and face us. So yeah, fuck them all. I'll get into trouble, but hey, well, I'll be the one that's arrested anyway, so I'll hand over to Steph and Kirsty.
I keep kicking myself in the sake Kirsty because of
My
stress.
daughter's not here, right? So I can't actually openly speak about this, but people think this is my new journey, but my daughter is 14 and she is autistic and she has also got ADHD, a bit like me, right? So I'm not new to this, right? But my little boy, he is over there, you can see, has got 2 people with him at all times. He has had 2 people with him at all times this whole time, and you're telling me that he can go into a mainstream primary 1? No. Absolutely.
Done, Sam.
I'm exhausted. I'm emotional. My marriage is broke down, and like, you know what I mean? I've got so much stresses in my life, but the one thing that I fight for every single day is that he doesn't get failed by the system. There is no way that that little boy, non-verbal, can't really understand his like vision boards or anything yet, next 10 months time can go into primary 1. That's what they're going to do. If he doesn't have a space, they're going to put him into primary 1, and there's not even enough funding to have like support workers for him. How is it possible? So I'm just going to keep him off. Like, I'm not going to put him to school. Like, I can't put my little boy, who's obviously needing 2 people to make sure he doesn't go on roads, run, he's escaped from school, the nursery. How can I possibly put my child's life in the hands of people that can't look after him? They don't know. They need more training. So, yeah. But also, I've got a 14-year-old daughter. Her mental health is absolutely horrendous. She's been in CAHMS for 3 years now. She's emotionally not getting supported at school. Last week, I'm every week picking my daughter up from school because she can't regulate herself. She doesn't like loud noises, hence why she's not here, because it's too overwhelming for her. I have to pick her up because she can't wear ear defenders because she's 14 and it's too embarrassing for her, and the school won't let her wear her AirPods. Now, that's not being inclusive. My little girl shouldn't have to walk around wearing a pair of ear defenders at 14 years old where she's going to get picked on in a mainstream school because she can't wear tiny little things. Like, it's not inclusive. That's not inclusive. That's not making my daughter. So then she ends up having a meltdown, crying in the classroom in front of her friends, and then I have to come and pick her up. So it means that she's not in education. So she's not getting any education because she can't cope in the class. Something needs to change. Sorry, I'm going to go.
So I'm going to talk about George's story. Now, George had an amazing 2 years in nursery. They got 1-to-1, which I thought was amazing, really good, but they only put that in place for 1 term. They only got funding for 1 term. Then that 1-to-1 got taken away from them. Where do they think this is acceptable, that 1 term is going to make a difference? Why give one child funding for 1 time? These aren't going to change overnight. Now, he's went out of school. He's now primary 1. Now, throughout meetings, his child plan, he's got a child plan in place. This little boy needs 1-to-1. Now, I was told if George was given 1-to-1, that 1-to-1 will be taken off another child. Where is that fair? Where is that fair? So that means if George gets 1-to-1, a child's going to go without. It's wrong. It's been wrong for years and it needs to stop.
Sorry guys, just so that you don't see the wee baby in a nappy.
He's now verbal. The last year his speech is coming amazingly, but he really struggles with social. And it's only this past year that George has actually made friends, which is a shame because he's a lovely little boy, but to the outside world, George is a bad boy. And he's not bad, he just doesn't know how to show love, he doesn't know how to show emotion. You know, he doesn't know that if somebody's upset, he doesn't know to go and give them a cuddle. He goes over and hits them. He just wants that closeness and they're not giving him it. You know, and for me, a room, now George is in a primary 1, which is an open plan school. Where in this world is that acceptable? An open plan school for an autistic child that's got a flight risk. It's wrong, I can't.
Yeah, what's up? You hold that.
Hi everybody, so I'm going to tell you about my wee boy's story. He's a boss team, my wee boy. He's been kicking about all day, done amazing.
He's here!
Amazing. He has autism, ADHD and severe anxiety. He struggles with his mental health daily. He's an inspiration because he gets up and he fights and gets on with every day. He has struggled the whole of primary school, and more so recently. He's just finishing primary 7 and starting high school in August. Primary school has been hell for him. There has been no support there for him at all, and it's not the school's fault. It's not the school's fault. His teachers were amazing. They all loved him. They still love him, but they just don't have. They can't split themselves in two. It's physically impossible. This last year has been the worst for us with him, to the point his psychiatrist told us to pull him out of school because it was being more detrimental to his mental well-being. So for weeks and weeks our son went without proper education because both myself and Kyle's daddy worked full-time. So we were working full-time and we were trying to be teacher, we were trying to keep him safe, and we can't do it all. And as parents, we rely on our children being safe in school. The whole point of the government's education, they say that every child's got the right to feel nurtured, to feel respected and to feel safe. Where are our children feeling any of those when they're in school? Correct. They're not. So the government's own Durfic getting it right for every child. When are they getting it right? They're not getting it right for any child.
Never!
Or not. Because not only does our children's struggles in a classroom affect our children, it affects everybody around about them, including the other children, which can be really, really distressing when children see our kids struggle, because they don't understand that either. They're children. Why would they? They don't need to. But it's ridiculous the fact that in 2023 it's still acceptable for this to happen. That our children, they're saying now that because what would have happened years ago when our funny, intelligent children would have just have been sent somewhere out of sight, out of mind. Because these places no longer exist, they say that doesn't happen. Yes, it does. Because if our children are sat in a cupboard in school because they can't cope, that's not inclusion, that's seclusion, which is completely different. If our children, if they can't cope with it, they're sent home. So are you telling me that that's not out of sight, out of mind? Because that is out of sight, out of mind. That's what we need to change, because our children deserve better, and as parents, we deserve better.
Sorry, you're greeting.
You're going to be involved in it and organising it. See you later, Seth. See you later, honey.
That was so good. I'm Nicole, and this is my boy's Cody's story. Cody's non-verbal and turning 6 in August, and has been in the process of being diagnosed with autism and learning difficulties since he was 1.5. Cody was in mainstream nursery and they couldn't handle his needs, so he was sent home every day. The nursery was only 10 minutes away from our house, and sometimes I couldn't even get home and my phone would be ringing to pick him up. Cody's nursery finally tried to help me get him into a special needs nursery. We sent the forms away and the education board lost the forms, so then I was told he wouldn't get a place and we would put us in mainstream school. I had to make a big portfolio to fight Cody's case, and from there Cody missed out a lot of time in nursery. At this point, Cody started really self-harming himself, to the point I was on the phone every day crying, begging for help, and they told me he would grow out of it. He was rejected for CAHMS. Cody then was lucky enough to get a place in his last year in nursery, in a special needs nursery, and that made it a lot easier for him to get into a special needs school. We do brilliant with Cody, but also really struggle as we just don't have the funding or the training for all the different children. I, for one, don't want my son to be failed, so I'm 100% behind the ASN Reform.
Oh, my ears!
Michelle's broke the mic.
Well, sorry for that. I don't know what that was.
It was Michelle.
Clearly the mic's agreeing with. Sorry, 2 things.
Jesus Christ, I've got 300 people on here.
So, it's now 2:30. The protest, we have until 3 o'clock. So, just as a wee closing speech, obviously, we've all heard everyone's stories throughout the day. There's been a lot of sharing, a lot of emotion. It's been an absolute great time. I've got my wee pal Kyle, keeps coming to help me. Basically, just to say again that this isn't the end of it, just us being here today. It's going to be a long process. We will have other stuff happening. It's not just about education support.
No, it's not, Andy.
We will go on to like wait times, etc. All different things for different services, mental health service, etc.
See, Mac, we've been crying all day.
We are focusing on the education today just as a starting point. We are here for the teachers as well. Teachers do not get enough training because in the training package for teachers, they have 1 day's training on assisted read, which is absolutely ridiculous. You can't teach about dyslexia, dyspraxia, ASD, ADHD,
Scottish Loxie, we've had a couple
all the
hundred
different things,
turn up
especially
today.
like anxiety
Absolutely
disorders
amazing.
and other mental health conditions that do come along with children with assisted needs. So there needs to be more training for teachers on how to support the children in mainstream education, as well as teaching assistants, because if we don't have that, then they're never ever we're not going to change anything. The government needs to step up and give us more funding to do this, give more educational spaces, etc. So I think maybe for the last 30 minutes, if you want to come and talk to us, please do. I was going to ask if everyone can kind of congregate in the middle area and we'll get a picture taken with the organising team up the back and everyone in the middle, just so that we can show everyone what we've been doing today. You can hold your placards and stuff up, it'll be absolutely amazing. I will ask as well that if you've took any pictures, videos, etc., if you can share them on the ASN Reform Facebook. We have Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. There will be, I'm sure we've had some TikTok lives and stuff done today, so I'm sure you'll find it somewhere. It is all under ASN Reform Scotland, so if you search that you will find them. Thank you everyone for coming today. It's been absolutely amazing. I think we've made a severe standpoint and we have showed the government we mean business. And yeah, I think it's been great hearing everybody's experience as well, because like we say, all our children have additional needs, but they have different support that's required. So it's been great hearing everybody speak their stories and obviously understand that, yes, although our children are all autistic, some have different requirements, some have sensory disorders, some don't. So it's about the government acknowledging that there is a difference across the board and they can't fit all our children into one package. It doesn't work that way. Us as parents have obviously come along, and it is important to us that all children are, I'm losing my words now, I'm getting tired. All children are supported in the educational setting that they require. So none of this nonsense of they're not autistic enough or they don't fit that criteria so they can't have that, it's absolutely wrong. So like I say, enough is enough. ASN Reform Scotland, we have been here, we've done it, we've been absolutely amazing. Thank you to everyone again. And let's do this! No?
Stephanie's turn!
Who's a big shit bag?
Right,
you?
So, right, hold on.
Nikki?
No. Sorry guys. Nicky again.
What is it?
Huh? What you saying?
I was just going to say, if everyone can go to the middle area here and we'll get a nice picture taken for the social media. If anyone doesn't want to be in it, that's absolutely fine, we can do that too. He's like, I'm off. Get me out of here. We'll let you off. Thank you for coming.
That was part of the organising.
Yes, that's fine. Bring your placards over, get them all handed up.
I keep it in the back of my phone for emergencies. because I don't trust you in my bank card because you can't even remember to take your bank card into an Asda.
Right.
What I will say is,
Are you
tall people
getting
right
in
at
it?
the back, please.
Will you keep that?
So if you're really tall, right at the back. Right, who's taking? Are you taking a picture?
I'm on the live.
Oh, you're on the live. Oh God, you're on the live. Jesus, smile. Say ASN Reform. That we're on the live. Right, so who's taking the picture? I mean, we're up for a picture, but we've not got anybody to take the picture.
I can take it.
Kirsty,
I'll
give
take
your phone to me.
I'll take
and
it.
you get back in the picture. We're not getting out yet. Are you coming across as well? Are you taking the picture, Jamie?
Aye, I'll take it. Wait, the mics are in the way.
Do you want to be in it? I'll take it for you.
No, it's okay.
Oh yeah, wait.
There we go. I took like 18 million, by the way.
What?
I took like 18 million.
Did you?
Yeah.
Weird yellow hat kind of
What?
I like how my son and my husband abandoned me there when I was stuck and I couldn't get back up.
That looks really good. Is it?
Oh wow.
It was the only thing was the mics. They were in the
Well guys, thank you so much for watching the live. You can drop us a follow. Any more updates, they will be here. This is just the start. There will be other events, there will be other things happening. You can follow the official ASN Reform social medias on TikTok, Instagram. No, have we got TikTok?
TikTok, no. Instagram, Twitter.
TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. Thank you so much, but I am going to end the live now because we need to pack up because we don't want to be arrested. So I'll go. What?
We don't have TikTok.
Oh, we don't have TikTok, sorry, so you just need to follow us on TikTok.
As I have just heard from a lovely person called Alan, his mother used to say, a problem shared is a problem halved. Now, how good is that?
Absolutely.
That is what we're all about.
Yep. So thanks, guys. I'm going to end it now. If you're wanting more updates, drop us a wee follow. Thank you so much and have a lovely day.